I have started the Sugarloaf Mountain Loop here in the Catskills. It's roughly a 7-mile loop that is going to take me to Mink Hollow, and then up and over Sugarloaf, down to Pecoy Notch, and then down through Dibbles Quarry and back out to the Roaring Kill parking lot. It is a busy, sunny Sunday afternoon, so I started filming on the way up, but we'll fill in all the details as we go. First section of the trail from Roaring Kill, it's about a 1/4 mile. Can be muddy in places before you come to the first trail junction. I'll take you along. I've reached the first trail junction, which means that I am taking a right to head over to Mink Hollow and gonna follow the blue trail. And then when I get to Mink Hollow, I'm gonna jump on the Devil's Path to go up and over Sugarloaf. Right, the blue trail, which is also the Mink Hollow trail, definitely starts out wet and muddy and full of streams. We're gonna continue on. We're gonna reach a height of land. After the height of land, we'll drop down a little bit. So it's a bit of a pointless up and down. Then we will hit an old road and make our way over towards Mink Hollow before connecting up with the Devil's Path. You may be wondering, why is there a road kind of in the middle of the woods? What you're seeing here are the old piles of bluestone that were dug out of these quarries, but weren't good enough for what the bluestone was being used for. And that was actually, prior to concrete, Catskill bluestone supplied much of the sidewalk material for cities on the East Coast. So if you've ever been to Boston or New York City, Charleston, South Carolina, where you see those old big rock sidewalks, 9 times out of 10, that is Catskills bluestone. So here we are in the middle of this quarry. There aren't as many on this side going into Mink Hollow when we come down from Pecoy Notch. Dibbles Quarry is a giant quarry, and there's a bunch of other quarries there, but pretty much all of the Catskills here in the eastern part of the Catskills were at one point quarried for their bluestone. We have been more or less climbing the entire time since we left the trailhead, and now we have started to flatten out a little bit as we make our way around the ridge to start going down to Mink Hollow, since we are a little higher. So we're going to drop down, then climb back up into the shoulder of Mink Hollow and hit the Devil's Path. Another side benefit right now, there is a nice breeze which is blowing all the black flies away. And I need to figure out how to get across this mud puddle. All right, we've reached the spot that makes me always want to do this loop in a counterclockwise fashion, because we have come up, up, up. We came down a little bit, but then kind of really was just flat up until this point where you see there is a view looking over at Plateau. But then behind me, the trail makes a strong switchback and starts dropping. So we'll actually end up below this view pretty steeply, and then climb back up into Mink Hollow, which is right over there. For me, if I'm going up the mountain, I much prefer going down a little bit to go back up than if we were doing the loop the other way, where you were coming down the mountain and you're coming down, 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 and then suddenly you're faced with this up to go back down. So for me, I always like to get the ups and downs out of the way first, and that's why I do this loop counterclockwise. But if you don't mind, you could do the loop clockwise too. .9 miles into our loop, we have intersected with the Devil's Path, and that is the end of the Mink Hollow Trail. So now we're going to go up Sugarloaf that way. It's about a mile to the summit, and then we will descend down to Pecoy Notch, where we're going to take the Pecoy Notch Trail back down to the Roaring Kill Trailhead. All right, we're going to try something new for the rest of the filming on this, using the forward-facing camera on my phone the whole time, because somebody was a little clumsy while they were having a drink of water, and somehow the phone jumped out of my hands, landed face down, and cracked the screen protector right over the camera lens facing this way. So as you can tell, it's a little wonky to record this way. So the rest of the way, I will do my best to record with the front-facing camera and see how it goes. No matter the mountain, the Devil's Path does not waste any time going up and down. Here's just one example, which in the wintertime becomes really icy. But right now, just sort of a rock scramble up to the top. So I miss having Mo at times like this, because he would give a much better description of all the yew that you're seeing. That's the sort of ground hemlock here. But you don't find very much here in the Catskills, because deer love to browse on them. And you know, they chew them up, and it's a good winter food source. But because of where we are in between these lines of cliffs, these are places that deer can't get to. And so you see what this would have looked like without deer browsing. I have just passed the 3,500 foot elevation marker here on Sugarloaf, and decided to take a little break enjoy the breeze. It's definitely a little chillier up here. The leaves have not come out yet this high up. It's early May, so down in the valley we're starting to have leaves, but up here still definitely looks like early spring. Yeah, gonna take a little break. Definitely plenty of climbing to get here. Not that much more. It definitely eases off the rest of the way to the top. Now, there's a view at the top. I'll take you there, so come on along. How is it that the punch-in always ends in the mud? Just up there is the summit. We are going to take this yellow side trail first out to the one vista on the mountain. Here we are at the top. Not exactly the most stunning summit, but almost all the Devil's Path peaks. The summits themselves are all wooded, but you have the views on the way up and down. Since I am team late start, it is getting late in the afternoon. The sun is getting lower. Plus now I'm on the shady side of the mountain coming down, and it has definitely gotten chilly. So out comes the coat, and I will continue on my way down. Here we are at Pecoy Notch, a little over 5 miles from where we started at the Roaring Brook Trailhead. 1.2 from the summit where we had the snack there at the viewpoint. And now we are going to go back to the Roaring Kill parking area, and it's 2 miles down the Pecoy Notch Trail. So let's go. You can tell from all of the piles of rocks We are approaching Dibbles Quarry, and we are on the old quarry road that serviced all the quarries here. If you follow this creek up, it goes back to several different quarries up there. And then, if you keep going down the Pecoy Trail, you are going to come right into all of the talus piles and all of the mines from the quarries where they were taking out the bluestone. And what's unique about this place is folks have used all the bluestone that was left to build thrones and chairs and all kinds of different things. So it's a really cool place to explore. If you were coming up from the Roaring Kill parking lot, it's only about 3/4 of a mile. So it's a good walk. We do have a video for just Dibbles Quarry, which I'll put a link in the description for you so you can check it out. But yeah, look at that. All these rocks are all from the old quarries.
He found me.
I did.
We're having a fire. Kristen and Matt.
It's out with some clients. Pick on guides.
And here's the Catskill High Peak Round Top. We're gonna watch the moonrise.
He is. I'm going home.
He's going to eat.
dinner. We found more quarries on the way out. Certain ones aren't quite as impressive. Okay, just about 7 miles, 6.8 actually. We have come back to the first trail junction and completed the loop. There's where we went this morning. Actually this afternoon, because now it's evening. And now we're gonna head down the little string back to the Roaring Kill parking lot. So I think it's about 0.25 to go. That's a wrap on the hike over the Sugarloaf. Be sure to sign out. Keep the adventures going.
More classic Catskills rock scrambles, more Devil's Path, more great loop hikes in the Catskills, then continue the hike with a trip over Indian Head Mountain.